Welcome. In this class, you'll have a chance to learn how to shoot an interview with your smartphone using a basic tripod, light, and microphone included in your smartphone interview kit. The basic setup involves finding a clean background or good, nice, clean space to use to set up your interview, and also thinking about audio. You'll want a place that's quiet so you can use your interview in a wide variety of situations. In terms of framing and eyeline, you're going to want to think about how to place your camera so that the eyeline is looking just off lens. You'll actually have to be very close to make this work. And the eyeline itself is very important. You'll have to play around so it looks natural, like the person's looking at you, not into the lens. And in terms of audio, we can't emphasize enough the importance of using your microphone and headphones and getting nice, clean audio. A lot of times you'll be editing the interview over images from other places. And if you can, use additional devices if they're available, perhaps even a second smartphone to record audio only. And also, you want to really think about the complete scene. Ideally, you want to try to get complete answers from your subject for use in your editing. And you also want to think about B-roll, i.e. shoot some images with your subject of them walking around or doing something else before or after your interview. You'll want to use it later on in the edit. Well, we hope this basic introduction to smartphone filming has been useful. Now let's look at it in action.
Let's talk about one of the most basic interview setups you can do. It involves using your smartphone, an LED light, and a lavalier microphone. For your smartphone, we recommend having a clip that allows you to put it on a tripod. And for the LED light, we recommend having a softbox that allows you to soften the light that's going to be falling on your subject. Let's take a look at how it's done.
For conducting an interview, one of the key issues is choosing a good spot.
Yeah, so Joanne, I think we'll have you right about here. Maybe take a step back.
It's important to take your time and set up the smartphone at or slightly above your subject's eye level and make sure that the frame is level. The smartphone itself is attached to a tripod using a special smartphone adapter. Brian then adjusts the filmic app to adjust exposure and focus. Generally with a smartphone, to do a good-looking interview, you need to come in very close to your subject like this to get a good frame. It's also important to set the eyeline and explain to your interview subject where they need to look. The bottom line is you want to get them comfortable with the idea of the filming and the interview before you start your shoot.
So maybe if we're talking here, we're talking about acting and great things. I might move it over here. And that's just going to change the eyeline a little bit.
As with all interviews, getting clean audio is often the most important thing, because you'll be using parts of this interview over this scene and probably other scenes at other locations in the film.
Okay, we're just going to put this mic on you here.
As well as choosing a quiet location, it's also important to use a lavalier mic and plug it into the smartphone, which you'll clip out of view as much as possible. Once you have your basic location and camera set up, you'll generally want to add light to brighten the face and eyes of your subject. The lights we have in our standard smartphone interview packages are all battery powered and have controls to adjust the color of the light to match the light in the scene. Once you set the light, you generally need to make some small minor adjustments to set the frame once again. Remember, you want to set the frame so that your subject is looking slightly off the lens, not into the camera. You'll want them to be framed like you can see here. When Brian turns on the light, you can see it makes the subject's face much easier to see and brighter. Before Brian begins the actual interview, he asks a few casual questions while he adjusts the final light and framing. As always, the goal is to make sure that his subject feels comfortable.
What's your favorite spot in Riverside Park?
In Riverside Park?
Yeah.
The Fireman's Monument. I live right near the monument.
Oh, nice.
And it's really lovely.
That's right.
Beautiful spiritual entrance to the park.
This basic setup works both inside and outside.
So I think initially he was saying he wanted to help people who, had no options.
Good luck as you go off to set up and do your first smartphone interviews.